Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matt Hansen here with Eli Heacock and Josh Rasmussen, and we are back with Week 10 BSPN District Tournament Edition.
The Lady Hawks started their district tournament games by playing the number 6 seeded Pleasant Lady Cougars. The Lady Hawks went out an early 25 lead run at the end of the first quarter. The Lady Cougars would keep up in the second quarter, only being outscored 13-11. The second half would be all Lady Hawks winning both quarters by a score of 25-15. They'd win this game 58-31. The Lady Hawks would have an effective field goal percentage, with that being 43% compared to Plymouth's 21%. Mia would lead the game with 22 points, followed by Jacy Schaffer with 12 and Emma with 9.
The Broadus Lady Hawks were set to play the Lady Terriers of Terry last Friday in the 4C District semifinals. The Terriers had bested the Lady Hawks both times during the regular season, winning each time by 2 points. The Lady Hawks started off good with a good first half, outscoring the Terriers 15-5. Mia Mader hit a buzzer beater 3 going into the second quarter. The second quarter proved to be a closer battle as some of the Lady Hawks fell into foul trouble. The Lady Hawks would lead 24-15 going into halftime after another buzzer beater 3 by Mia Mader. The third quarter would pass by and end with Emma Isaacs hitting the buzzer beater this time. Fourth quarter was a closer race as Maddie Zimmer would foul out, but the players off the bench would step up and keep the Lady Hawks afloat. The Lady Hawks won the game 44-31. Mia Mader would lead the Hawks in scoring 25 points. Jacy Schaffer would add 7 points and 9 rebounds.
Once the Lady Hawks fought their way to the championship against Webo on Saturday, they were prepared for the matchup. The girls scored the first points of the game by Emma Isaacs, who also led in points that evening. Emma Isaacs scored a total of 17 this game. At the end of the first quarter, the Hawks had a strong lead by 7. The girls held their lead into halftime, with the score being 23-19. Coming out of the half, they battled throughout the third quarter, each team going on a run. Going into the fourth quarter, the girls had an 8-point lead, while the Webo Longhorns continued to battle for the win. With only about a minute left in the fourth, Abby Bagger hit a deep 3 to put the Longhorns within 4 points, and then went on to shoot free throws to put the game within 2 points. The Lady Hawks won the district championship game by 3 points, with the end score being 43-40, and are now headed to the divisionals. As stated previously, Emma Isaacs led in points with 17, Maddie coming in second with 14, Jacy Schaffer and Mia Mader had 7 and 5 as well to contribute to the win. To open up the district tournament for the Hawks, they played the Pleasant Cougars. To start the game off, Josh Rasmussen hits a 3 from the corner. Then Cooper Zimmer got into the lane and Euros for 2. Landon Cap gets his scoring started from a nice mid-range jumper. Then Thomas Euler made a nice cut into the lane and scored for 2. Cooper Zimmer throws down a monster slam that got the crowd hyped. Then in the second quarter, Jackson Bilbrey drives for an easy bucket. Josh Rasmussen would later hit a sidestep 3, his second of the game. Matt Hansen went to work in the paint with a nice move toward the end of the second. Then Eli Heacock split the defenders and scored inside with a nice lay. Josh Rasmussen hit a black line 3 at the buzzer and put the Hawks up 6 at halftime. In the third quarter, Cooper Zimmer spin moves and transition for 2. Josh would hit another sidestep 3 in the third. Jackson Bilbrey grabbed an offensive rebound and scored. The Hawks outscored the Cougars 18-7 in the third and took a commanding lead. The Hawks would go on to win 59-45. Josh Rasmussen led all scorers, putting up a season-high 21 points, going 5 for 10 from the 3-point range, and Cooper Zimmer chipped in with 11.
In the district championship, Broadus faced off against Jordan in a matchup everyone knew was coming. To open up the first quarter, the Hawks came out on fire, with Jackson scoring off of an out-of-bounds play, and then Landon getting an offensive rebound and getting an and 1. Then Eli would get a steal and take it coast to coast for 2, then would come right down the floor on the next possession and hit a 3, making it 14-4. Jordan would go on a run of their own to end the first. Heading into the second, Hawks are up 16-13. To start the second, Thomas Euler would hit a 3 of his own and then had an and 1. Jackson passed the ball over top of the defense into a ceiling Landon for another basket. The Hawks were able to crash the offensive boards. This one shows Cooper fighting inside for the rebound, then putting up the shot for 2. Going into the half, the Hawks were up 29-24. After a slow start to the quarter, the Hawks started rolling after Cap found Hansen and he drove in for the lay. Then Zimmer would show off his outside ability, knocking down a 3, putting the Hawks up 38-30. The Mustangs would hit a 3 and a pair of free throws to make the score 39-15. In the first 20 seconds of the fourth, Cooper would steal the ball and find a streaking Eli for the transition basket. The Hawks wouldn't score much this quarter, but were able to score when they needed to, like when Josh hit this 3 to put the Hawks up 4. The Mustangs would score 4 unanswered, but with about 3.5 seconds left, Jackson Bilbrey was fouled and was put to the line for 2 free throws, knocking them both down in the clutchest moment of the season and sealing the win for the Hawks, with the final score being 45-44. It was a very balanced scoring night for the Hawks, with the leading scorer being Cooper with 11, but Eli was also able to chip in 9 as well as Landry.
Broadus Lady Hawks would come into the Southern C Divisional Tournament as the #1 seed after defeating the Plebna Cougars, the Terry Terriers, and the Weaver Longhorns. They will face the winner of the #3 seed play-in game between the Harleton Bradgate Engineers and the Bridger Belfry Scouts. Lady Hawks met the Engineers early in the season, defeating them 41-38, giving them the start to their 8-11 overall record. However, they have not seen the Scouts at all this season, who come also into this tournament with an overall record of 10-11. Also on the Broadus side of the bracket is a matchup between Custer Harshan Rebels and Plenty Coupe Warriors. The Rebels have had a great season, going 14-5, even with a tough loss in District 5C Championship game to Melstone Lady Bronx. The Warriors come into the tournament as the #2 seed, falling to Roberts in the 6C District Championship game 93-54.
Our boys, they also come in as a #1 seed from the 4 seed. They will face the winner of the #3 seed Custer Isham Rebels and the #3 seed Absaroka Huskies. Custer Isham comes into the tournament with a record of 17-5, beating the Northern Cheyenne in the Constellation to seal a trip to divisionals, while Absaroka bested Plenty Coupes to punch their ticket. The Hawks have not faced either of these rivals yet this season. Also on our boys' side of the divisional bracket are #2 seed Melstone, who are 16-4 from the 5 seed, and #2 seed Roberts from the 6 seed. Broadus split with Melstone this year, winning at home and losing on the road. An eventual matchup seems likely with the Bronx and is always a thriller. However, the Bronx must beat the 9-11 Roberts Rockets, who lost to the 14-6 Bridger Scouts by 10 in the district championship.
Next week, the divisional tournament kicks off with the boys playing at 1:30 on Thursday and the girls playing later that night at 5.